Testing, testing. This is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the boxing debate arena. Now, the reason that I'm doing this fucking show is that some people didn't get the chance to talk more about this fight. Last episode we had a full house, so it was very difficult for everybody to get a word in. Stu should be joining us later, and so I'm interested in hearing what Stu had to say about Canelo Golovkin too. And if anybody else wants to jump in, they can do so. It's gonna be a short show. It's not gonna last 3 hours or more. It's probably gonna last an hour and a half. So if you wanna join, do it now, cause this is your last chance. By the way, I have allergies, so it's not cocaine or anything. See, that's not cocaine. That's allergies. All right. Let's see who's in the chat. Undercover Asian. As always, they will have Joey Ocean. The new YouTube sensation X is there. Gangsta003. We have Gorilla Dog. Azzy as well is always there. Stephen Schneider, of course. The Quags. And Ray G006. What up? So yeah, this is the last episode where we're gonna talk about Canelo Golovkin too, because tomorrow there's another episode, but that's gonna be we're gonna focus on the Povetkin Joshua fight. So I didn't want to get two episodes, and like I didn't want to talk tomorrow about Canelo Golovkin and then Joshua Povetkin. So let's just get it out of the way. Let's conclude this fucking debate or our feelings about the fight. Let's just get it out there so we can move on. And eventually we might come back to this subject. But for now, this is the last episode. Greg, what up? Alright. So, I've been hearing a lot of people say that it was a robbery. So we established that it wasn't a robbery. In my opinion, it was a close fight. I had it 115-113 for Canelo, but it could have gone 115-113 Golovkin's way or a draw. So it's not it was a close fight. Come on, guys. I mean, I think a lot of reporters gave it to Golovkin based on what happened in the previous fight. He got robbed the first time, so the benefit of the doubt was gonna go to Golovkin. So Brandon White says robbery. Joey Ocean says robbery. Rascal 222 says there is style and Mexican style. Only idiots think that. Yeah, we have to stop saying all this word Mexican style. Golovkin didn't even try to fight Mexican style. I mean, whatever that is, because he was a bit on the back foot and throwing jabs. So. And you know what? I there's people now blaming, which is this is one of what I thought was going to happen. Oh, Steven Schneider, thank you for your contribution. Drug cheat won, unfortunately. Well, I don't know if he was on drugs this time around, but he could have been. There we go, the alert. Thank you, Schneider. Alright, before we get into PED talks and stuff, I just wanted to talk about. This is what I predicted. Some people were going to start blaming Abel Sanchez for this performance. I predicted that if Golovkin lost this fight, Abel Sanchez was going to get some of the blame. And that's what I'm seeing now. They're blaming Abel Sanchez. His game plan didn't work or something. Another contribution from Schneider. He says Canelo really did win though. Okay, so you think he won, but he was on PEDs. I guess that makes sense. Give me your scorecards, people, because I keep hearing Golovkin won, Golovkin robbery, but how did you have it? Like, did you have it 118, 110 or something? Or come on. Because what if it's 115, 113, then it can't be a robbery. Or it's very difficult that it's a robbery. Let me just get this shit out of here. Okay, so Abel Sanchez is to be blamed for this loss. That's ridiculous, man. So he was to blame for all the victories, but now he's to blame for a loss. or a close fight, basically, because some people say that he won, and I can accept that maybe Golovkin won. So, I mean, come on, you can't blame Abel Sanchez for this. Jay Perez had a 115, 113 Golovkin. Gangsta seriously 120, 108 Canelo. All right. Brandon White 115, 113 Golovkin. Steven Schneider said 115, 113 for Canelo off the drugs, strangely. Why can it be a robbery 115, 113? Well, because 115, 113 means it's a close fight. I mean, you change around and it's a 114, 114. SL Cow had it 8-3 and 1 even. The Quacks had... You know what? There's so many rounds. I try not to give even rounds because then that just fucks the whole thing up. But actually, you could give... Jesus Christ, I'm losing my words here. 10-10 rounds. But... Yeah, that would have just made my whole card worse, man, now looking at it. Dr. Zillhammer said I had a 118, 111 for Golovkin. Are you serious, man? Gorilla Dog 8-4 Canelo. Draw at best for Golovkin. Whoa. All right. Brandon White says robbery can happen no matter how close the points are. Well, yeah, that's true. I agree, but when it's a 115, 113, and it was a close fight, man. You can see. All right, I'm gonna post a picture of both guys after the fight. I know looking at a fighter's faces doesn't determine a winner or a loser, but some people are saying that they talk as if Canelo didn't land any fucking punches. So, where the hell is the picture? Hold on, I don't think it loaded. Fucking Christ. Oh, what the hell? I'm getting... people want to join, I guess. Alright, hold on. By the way, alright. Shit, I have to send the link to Stu. Alright, hold on, guys. Because I'm doing this solo, so it can get confusing. So... There we go. One moment, please. I have one picture here, but this is not the one I wanted to show you guys. Then we have another picture, which is, it shows both fighters. Oh, there we go. Now, was this a fight or fucking what? Now, obviously, after a fight, things got, yeah, like the damage starts getting worse. Like you see, it gets all purple and shit. But still, you can see this was a war, guys. All right, so it wasn't that one-sided. Show a picture of Canelo after that uppercut. What do you mean a picture after the uppercut? Listen, there was a lot of highlights of Golovkin landed the harder shots, but like I said, he landed the harder shots between like round 9, 10, and 11. Okay, so okay, Golovkin landed those. Steven Schneider, another donation. It was a great fucking fight. It was a great fucking fight. It was a great fight. There's no doubt about it. I was gonna say that Golovkin's face. No, sorry. Because I'm reading Greg's fucking comment. Greg says Golovkin's face was messed up, but it was the body shots that took it out of him. Yeah, there was a lot of body shots that you have to take into account that Canelo landed. But I was going to say, Golovkin landed really hard shots on Canelo, and you could see Canelo's head moving all over the fucking place. But those shots happened between rounds 9, 10, and 11. So let's say those 3 rounds are won by Golovkin. That's fine. He won 3 rounds, but you don't win a fight just because you landed some hard shots in a span of 3 rounds. That's not how it works. We're counting every single round separately. So, Joey Ocean says, "I don't want to break your balls, Bucho." Listen, it's a debate. I understand. I can see it, but I just don't see a robbery. I can see if 115, 113 for Golovkin. I just can't see a robbery. And, you know, like, just because Golovkin landed a hard shots in certain rounds. He doesn't win the fight because of that. I mean, it's like if you watch Amir Khan Maidana. Remember how fucking Khan almost collapsed. He was he was tumbling and moving around, and he looked like a clown basically. But he still won the fight because he got hurt at the end. But he won enough rounds so that fucking round where he looked like crap didn't affect the decision. So those hard punches landed in between rounds 9 and fucking 11. So that's not gonna change the fucking decision. Trap Media says Canelo beat Golovkin, called child services. What do you mean? What do you mean? Are you shitting on Golovkin, man? See, that's the thing. A lot of Golovkin. I'm not saying Trap Media is a Golovkin hater or anything, but god damn it, now all these people are coming out saying Golovkin was hyped, overhyped, blah blah blah. Listen, I want to see Canelo fight Charlo because that's a hype job in my opinion. They're saying like, hey, listen, who knows? Charlo might beat Canelo, but so far I haven't seen anything that convinces me that he can beat either Canelo or Golovkin. So I've seen the best of Canelo, and I saw it yesterday. I've seen the best of Golovkin before, and based on that, I can tell you that he beats Charlo. So these people who claim that Charlo is gonna knock out Golovkin or Canelo or beat them, based on what? That's my question. Based on what? Pure fucking hate. Pure fucking hate on Golovkin. Anyways. Hold on. People want to get into the show. By the way, I sent a link to Stu. Stu, if you are there, just talk because I can't see the hangouts. Steven Schneider again, another contribution. Thank you. Says Charlo's record is smoke and mirrors. Of course. Of course it is. Alright, Trap, I'm gonna send you the link. Hold on. Hold on. It wasn't a robbery, people. Alright, hold on. We have a group chat on Hangouts. I can't fucking find it. Anyways, Trap, if you're there, just talk once you get in. Am I sending the right link? Anyways, Nino Gagi says Wilder equals inactive, Charlo equals inactive tank, wasted talent, and inactive. Well, didn't Charlo fight not long ago, though? Steven Schneider says, okay, no, he's responding to someone else. What are you guys talking about fucking Wilder here? If Triple G knew, Gangsta 003 says, if Triple G knew he can't win in the scorecards, then why didn't he take more risks? Listen, he tried to, but he was getting hit. That's the thing. You gotta give Canelo credit, man. And isn't that what everybody was saying? That if Canelo stands in front of Golovkin, it's suicide and it's over. He was right there. What did Golovkin do? Oh, he went on the fucking back foot. Recognize the Matrix has what's good, people. What up, man? Alright, hold on. What up, Trap?
What's going on?
Not much. Just discussing this fight again for the last time.
It seemed to be a lot of backlash, and I'm surprised. I thought Canelo earned it, and I was going in. I'm telling you, I was going in this fight. You could almost call me the casual would call me a Canelo hater, and he just earned my respect. I mean, going into this fight, I would say I was more pro GGG, and I'm not getting the robbery thing. Like people are acting like it's the most heinous thing that has happened in boxing, from Stephen A. to who else I want to say, Harold Letterman, all of the and it's guys who are respected in the sport. That's what I'm a little bit more shocked by. It's a lot of the people who's been in it for a long time. I'm not getting what they seen. I mean, they keep pointing out the jabs, but he was getting countered on most of those jabs, especially early on. I mean, outside the 10th round, that's when GGG really dominated. But Canelo was really in control of this fight. He had great combos, very good stamina. He paced himself properly. He had a balanced attack. I'm not getting. I mean, I understand that people are upset because Canelo has been getting, favorable decisions, favorable
Hmm.
scorecards, and I think that's a lingering thing. But if we're just judging this fight, I think people have to let go of those past biases from other fights and just look at this fight. I don't get the robbery. I'm not getting why people are so outraged. Are you getting the explanation on why people are outraged? Do you get it? The understanding behind that?
Can, probably because Golovkin should have won the first fight, and so I guess people wanted some sort of retribution.
That's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what it is. But I'm thinking like people, if we're just judging this fight, I mean,
Yeah,
that boy came out and fought. He took his game to the next level. That's one thing I can say about Canelo. Each from both of these fights, from that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight to this fight, I mean, he kept getting better, and improving in different ways. His attack was different. So I don't know how you don't take your hat out off to that. And I think we're missing a great performance by focusing on people keep saying it's a robbery, and we're not. I think it may be 10 years before people will really enjoy this moment, before they go back and like, man, I watched a great fight. Man, I
a lot
watched
of
two great
people.
performances.
Yeah, a lot of people admit it was a great fight, but there's still some people that, like I said, wanted retribution, and they knew that Golovkin wasn't going to win a decision.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
And if I only thing I would say, if I'm Golovkin, the only thing I'm mad at myself about is not more of a, because we remember we had a show, not the latest show that when people were predicting, but it was a
The
show
Friday.
maybe I want to say a month before that, and we all were
Oh,
saying he needed to go to the body more. And I think that's one thing that Abel and Golovkin, if they're thinking like, what's one thing we could have did better, maybe more of a focus on the body to try to wear him down for the later rounds. Outside of that, he came out and fought a pretty good fight. He tried to stay calculated. Obviously, the counters were getting to him, so he was trying to, just stay on it, just keep him on the end of the jab. But outside of working the body, I don't see much more that Golovkin could have did, because he threw everything at him. But
mhm.
Canelo was still standing there. So outside of a body attack, there wasn't much more he could do. His feet are not just gonna get faster. His hands are not just gonna get faster. He did what he does best, and that's working that jab. He put some power on him when he had the chance. It just was little body work, but that's the only thing I could see improve. Do you see anything else outside of the body that he could have improved?
Not really. And he did unload on Canelo, especially on in round 10. He unloaded everything he had, and he couldn't knock him out. He couldn't hurt him. So there was no way he was gonna knock Canelo out. So he was gonna have to do what you were just saying, using the jab, using his boxing skills, and Canelo also had boxing skills. So it was always gonna be a close fight.
And I think only yeah, and all the other thing was leaving the ring. I don't think he should have left the ring at the end. I think at the
Mm.
end of the day, like I was saying, it takes a great fighter to go in there against another great fighter. It's not about winning or losing. You get out there and you live to fight another day. So I respect Golovkin after this fight. I respect Canelo after this fight, and I hope both guys continue to fight, because I still think GGG has more left in the tank. I wouldn't leave. I wouldn't hold my head down. You go out and you stand out proud. Y'all fought a good fight. Show your bruises, show your face. You're a warrior. Canelo's a warrior, and we have respect for both guys. I don't think we have to like one and hate the other.
I agree 100% with what you just said, and thank you, Schneider. He says the guest is right for the most part. By the way, before we continue, I want to recognize the Matrix.
Don't get fooled when they tell you that the crime rate is down in New York. Every time I watch the local news, they're always talking about, well, there was a stabbing here, there was a stabbing there was a shooting there, but the crime is down.
All right, what's up, Recognize?
Matrix, what's going on? Can I get
What's
an
up,
intro?
Trap Media?
Bucho, can I get an
Bucho.
intro? I've been asking y'all for about a month now. I need an intro.
Did you? I don't remember that. Yeah, everybody wants a fucking intro. Takes time. Then we have to find something you said. Like I have to modify Abstract Boxing. He didn't like his intro, so I'm gonna have to change that one. So
He doesn't like his.
no,
Don't
he
like
liked
his
it, but he
intro.
just wants something else because I didn't really take the time to find something funny he said. I just took something quickly, so and it doesn't really. It's not that good to be honest. But anyways, what's up, Recognize?
What's going on, people?
What's
All
the
right,
business?
So
what's
I
on your
guess people
mind?
still, people are gonna feel a certain way no matter what, man, about this fight. The fight itself was too close to call a robbery. I think that people are looking at the situation. They look at the last fight. I think the robbery thing has a lot to do with the last fight, the first fight, excuse me. Um, I've read a lot of scorecards. I guess most of the boxing writers thought Triple G won the fight. I saw like this count. But it was all close. Most of the boxing writers thought Triple G won the fight. Um, but it was a great fight, man. I mean, there's nothing else you can say about that. Look, man, I personally thought Golovkin won the fight, but I'm not gonna tell you that he didn't get beat up. He got beat up. His face tells you he did. Um, it was a great fight. The thing about this whole back and forth with, I think it was a robbery, or I think the fight was legit. I think all of that has to do with mainly the first fight. Now, me personally, I knew that if the fight was close, there's a very good chance. Actually, I'm not gonna say I knew that, right? I was just saying in my head. I think Golovkin he has to win this fight more convincing. In other words, he can win the same way, but hurt him, score a knockdown, something like that. And that's what I predicted. I said, look, I think Golovkin will win this fight. I think that he'll at least score a knockdown, because I had a feeling that Canelo was going to bring the fight to him. The only thing that I didn't realize was that Canelo was going to be able to make him back up and keep that consistently. And so he fought a good fight. I mean, this is a great fighter. We can all speculate who he's going to fight next and what this person would do versus Canelo. The fact is that Canelo's proven himself. He has gotten better as a fighter, and he looks like he's not that he looks like. I think we can all say, in terms of boxing skills, now whether he's on drugs or not, or he's cheating or not, look, man, all that stuff, all that stuff is until you prove it, which it has been proven in the past, with at least with the drug thing. Unless you can prove it, then I really can't say that's why he's good. I'm not going to sit there and say that's why he's a great fighter. Um, but my whole thing with Canelo, I almost lost my train of thought. My thing about Canelo is that he's a great fighter. He's proven that, and even if you thought he lost the fight with Triple G, when was the last time you saw an opponent stand there, get hit up, and keeps coming forward towards Triple G? You haven't seen no one. You haven't. That's the answer. You haven't seen one guy that's ever done that, and Canelo was able to do that and have success at the same time. He got hit up, he got hurt once or twice in that fight, and kept coming forward. And that's the sign of a great fighter.
Wait, so based on what you just said, that the only way you saw Golovkin win, well, one of the only ways that Golovkin could win was if he knocked down Canelo, right?
Well, look, I'm speculating, right? Going into the fight, I thought to myself, he needs maybe a knockdown, like to seal the deal, or hurt him, have him running or something like that, right? Obviously, the stoppage just kills everything. It kills any type of attempt to to steal the fight in Canelo's favor, if that's how you're thinking going in. Um, But yeah, I mean, I thought that he needed a more dominant performance. He couldn't have it that close. That fight was very close, man. It could have went. It could have went either way. There was close rounds. There were rounds that I gave Triple G that I said, man, maybe I could have given that to Canelo, and vice versa. The same thing. I gave Canelo rounds. Well, like, I could have given that round to Triple G as well.
So Do you think that Golovkin has any after watching this fight? Do you think Golovkin has any chance of beating Canelo?
Yeah, of course he does. Because I thought he edged the fight in the second fight, in the fight that just happened. So it depends, right? Is he hurt? Is he going to be older? Is he going to be?
Steven Schneider says, "Does anyone think a third fight is coming?"
I think so. I think so. I think they're going to look at the numbers. This is what's going to happen. And if Golovkin plays the good boy, and you know what that means, right? When it comes to the money, be prepared for Canelo to say, okay, 75-25.
Oh
There's a good
yeah,
chance that could happen. I want 75% of the purse, you get 25% of the purse.
but at that point,
Golovkin,
maybe it's better for Golovkin just to fight somebody else. No,
I agree. He should.
he could fight
I think he
Saunders in
should
the
go.
UK. Man, they're gonna offer him a lot of money. So you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe that third
What
fight might
about
not happen.
Isn't Murata still out there for him? The
Yep.
WBA
Yeah.
regular champ. That's a
Yep.
Yeah,
fight still because it's gonna be so tough. At this point, I don't see him knocking out Canelo. I think
Nope.
Canelo could take his punch and he's gonna put himself in position to where he's not really caught off guard. I don't see him getting a decision, even if it's more favorable. Like, that first fight, I thought GGG edged it. I don't think, even if it was a fight like that again, I don't think he would get a decision. So outside of getting, maybe he needs 2 knockdowns if he's gonna get a decision, and it still may be a card that has a draw, even if he dominated that fight. So I think it's just more of a risk of getting another L on his record. He's going to get a lower percentage because they didn't want to give him the percentage they gave him this fight, but because of the clenbuterol thing, that's why they had more leverage when negotiating. So
Yep.
the percentage goes down, the chances for winning goes down. You get older, he gets younger, he has more experience and confidence under his belt. So it may be best just to move on because it's so much against you, and you can just dominate some other guys. And we can look at these fights as, it was what it was. Many people thought Golovkin won both fights, and it could just be one of those things when you bring it up, people will say, well, oh, he really won that fight, or oh no, it just be one of those debates down the line. But you can move on and people will still have respect for you. I don't think it's nothing to gain with fighting him again unless you going in strictly every round, your stamina's up and you trying to knock his head off, or you adding a body attack. That's the only thing different. Unless you coming in that third fight, you gonna make a clear focus on the body. That's the only thing I can see that maybe wears him down for the knockout later on.
Yeah. Yeah, this fight kind of reminds me. I'm talking about the situation. It reminds me of Bernard Hopkins and Jermaine Taylor. Remember when they fought twice?
Yep.
First fight was pretty close. Second fight was close as well. Me personally, going into those fights, I thought the first, or after the fights were done, I thought Jermaine Taylor lost the first fight. I thought he won the second fight. Right, but it was close. It was a very close fight. Bernard Hopkins looked at that situation and said, "Look, I'm 0-2 against this dude." Right, a little different with this fight because Golovkin is 0-1-1. Right, he's got a draw and he's got a loss against him officially on the and his record versus Canelo. I think that Bernard Hopkins looked at it and said, "You know what? Look, man, I'm done with that situation. It is what it is. I thought I won that. I thought I won both fights. He got it. It's not going to give. It's not going to be. A third fight won't be worth it. But you saw what he was able to do after that. I'm not saying Canelo Triple G has to do that because it's a different situation, right? This fight is worth so much money, even if he gets a lower percentage. If they were to fight a third time, that's if Canelo wants to fight him a third time. Also, remember that. Maybe Canelo's like, look, man, I'm looking on to bigger, better things. I've already beat you, etc.
I think
So, real quickly, yeah, what I would like for Golovkin to do, this is just my personal opinion, go up in weight. Say I'm done with the middleweight division. Try to get that Groves fight if he beats what's the cat's name he's going to fight now? Smith, one of the Smith brothers, for the super middleweight tournament. Try to add another title to your in the second weight class. Bernard Hopkins looked really good after losing his belt and was able to go up in weight
Okay.
and
He
win a
was a
belt.
drained middleweight.
Yeah, he was a drain middleweight. I totally agree with that. He's 6'1", and he was able to cut down that weight. But I thought that
Yeah, he
move
did
of
amazing.
losing, once he was done with the title defenses, and they took, he lost the fight in his mind, they took it from him. He moved on, and he was able to do better things. And I think I believe Triple G could still go up in weight and win a title.
You know who Golovkin could fight Gilberto Ramirez. That's a big fight. It's a money fight. He's a Mexican.
Is a money fight, yeah. It is
Has
a
belt. Why
Yeah.
not?
And see, and even I was hearing, I think last show, I think you brought up Billy Joe with Canelo, but I don't even think he wants that fight. Remember after Billy Joe whooped Liam, I mean not Liam, but what's your boy
Lemieux?
name? Lemieux.
Lemieux.
Their team was coming out saying they don't want Billy Joe because he moves too much. He runs. So
Yeah, you're right. They might not want that fight.
yeah, I don't think they want that fight. See, and that's what that's another thing. Only knock if you were comparing great fights to each other. Golovkin style is more favorable if you have feet like Canelo and you can move like that. It would be good to see the skill match up with him and Billy Joe. Both good on their feet, both solid combos. I think that would be if you enjoy the technical part of boxing, I think you'll really love that fight.
I mean, it could be a good fight. I actually think Canelo beats Billy Joe. I'm not saying Billy Joe don't have a shot, because we know he can he's that kind of fighter that can outbox elite fighters, right?
Yeah.
It may look ugly, but he'll do it. He'll outbox you. But going back to your point, I think Canelo. It depends. If the money's good enough to entertain, Canelo will do it. I know boxing. I know people don't. I don't like to get into it as well. But boxing is a bottom line sport, right? It's about the money. And whether we like it or not, it doesn't matter. It's all going to come down to the money. That's why a third fight with with Golovkin is very possible. They might sit down and be like, "Man, this is what you guys made."
Yeah.
Look,
I see.
they look at the bottom line, right? Like
He said he wanted it. Canelo said he wanted it after. He said he had no problem with it.
Of course he does, because you know why he wants it? Two reasons, in my opinion. Number one, he's not scared of Golovkin. He already took everything. He already took, whether we thought he won or lost. Doesn't matter what we think. He stood his ground, and he's like, I'm not scared of this dude. I'm willing to go in the ring again and get another $30 to $50 million payday. You know what I'm saying? And plus, he's getting older, and I'm getting older in the better way. Where it comes to experience and getting stronger. Yeah, prime years, those prime years. So for Canelo, he look, this guy's going to try to maximize as much money as he can. This is why I brought up on a podcast. I think it was with ElDude. Like, don't be surprised. Floyd Mayweather, this rumor that Floyd Mayweather comes back, fights Manny Pacquiao, right? And here's the scenario: he fights Manny Pacquiao.
Please stop this.
No, I was just gonna make a quick point.
I don't want to hear Mayweather coming. That's insane.
I don't even think this is going to happen. But I'm just gonna look. This is a scenario that I could see De La Hoya trying to play out.
Oh God.
Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, Mayweather goes in there, beats Manny Pacquiao in a rematch that they actually fight, right? Who's not to say De La Hoya is like, hey, listen, man, I could get you another $100 million payday to fight Canelo, but here we go. Here's what we're gonna do. We'll give you the money. That's not a problem. But the one thing we won't do is that we're not gonna compromise weight. We're not gonna compromise any of that stuff.
Not this time.
Right, not this time. We're not gonna compromise that, because what you're doing is you're building the future star to get the old stars. Get him under his belt. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's very possible. Canelo's going to try to make as much money as he possibly can, and you know that's what these guys, that's what these elite fighters are in it for.
See,
All right,
I
before
don't.
wait, hold on, Trap. Let me just introduce Precise.
Dependent upon how you
Wow.
interpret the data.
What's up with all the transvestites in Hollywood, though?
Because if you're a postmodernist and you don't have any standards, you're always going to keep moving the goalpost, and you're never going to stick to your own standards because you don't have any standards.
All right, what's up, Precise?
Precise.
All right, he's not there.
Precise is
We need to
beating
take a
up
leak.
vegan right now. He's beating up a vegan.
Hey, support. Hold on, wait. We didn't do this. Shout out to Canelo for being a vegan fighter. I believe that made the big difference in his stamina. He was using that natural keto
You're
way.
gonna get Precise pissed off, man.
Don't get you trying to start a fight, right? That's what you're trying to do.
Support vegan
He's
fighters.
doing it.
Veganism is the way. Veganism is the future.
Are you a
Hey.
vegan?
Oh man, you
Hey, Trap, are you a vegan?
So bad. Trap, you're a vegan?
Yeah, for sure.
How long?
But what do you? So you eat no meat, no nothing, right?
No meat, no dairy, no white sugar, no oil.
Yeah,
How old
sugar
are you,
is
Trap?
fucking
If you
bad.
don't mind me asking.
26.
26 years old. Trap, what if I told you I'm 45 years old and I'm ripped like a motherfucker still? Let's just say I am.
Oh no, you absolutely can be. You actually that I'm not. I never said.
And
For
I
me,
eat
it's-
meat. I know I'm saying like I still eat meat, man. I still eat it. I need it. Like it gives me strength, bro.
Yeah, it works for a lot of people. But you know, we can go in the gym and you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised.
You might be right. I never tried it, so
Oh
I can't say.
boy, Precise, you there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I think you're
How you
sounding
doing,
a.
Precise? You all right?
Yeah, I'm sounding. I mean, the players are jacked up.
You're breaking up, man.
Terrible, huh?
Try to reset your mic, Precise.
It's not the mic, man. It's just my internet. It's been awful.
Yeah,
No improvement.
A bit.
it's getting better as you talking. Yeah.
Well, let me know if it's unbearable and I'll just fuck off because I can't be doing that.
It's like a robot.
Can you go somewhere else?
Or try to reset your
man.
internet.
Trust me, it ain't any of that. It's just
Oh.
I'm getting scammed over here.
It's getting
It's
better.
good now. You got better.
Yeah, it like comes and goes, man. I pay for like 2.5 megs, but I get like 20 megabits.
What provider do you have? You might need to get that Verizon.
Bro, there's no competition out here. This is what I get, and that's all it is. And it's like a family-owned business. Everything in Ecuador is a scam. Just FYI.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, you overseas? I'm about to say.
Yeah, I'm in the boonies, man. Like there's no competition out here.
But kind of getting back to what you were saying, recognize. I don't think Floyd fights Canelo at this point. I think he views Manny as a low risk. You can still get a big profit at this point. Even he would know Canelo. That's too much of a risk at this point because the age he is. I don't think it's just worth it for him in the big scope of things because he wants to go down as, you know, what
Undefeated.
he is right now.
Yeah. He wants to go down undefeated. I get it.
And it's just not feasible right now.
Canelo's too big, too strong, and Floyd ain't going up to 160. Canelo ain't coming down.
Yeah.
And he's definitely not compromising negotiations either. His ego is too big for that. That's not happening. But I just think right now what he's seeing against Pacquiao with Matias, he views it as a sweet lick. He see some people still getting behind Pacquiao after that fight, so it's like, okay, they're getting behind him. He has a belt. I can get another belt. I can get an easy payday. Go in here, whoop him, get a little bit of praise, get the big check, go to the strip club, throw some money, live for a few more months, and maybe in another few months, Pacquiao whoops another young guy and they run it back again. But I don't think he's going after none of these young fighters out here.
By the way, ElDude is here. You can jump in if you want.
Thank you, brothers.
ElDude, what's going on? Did any of you guys catch that Ramirez fight that was right before? Because it was a great fight. That guy, Ortizaku, who was from Cali too, I think from San Diego, he showed a lot of heart. Got dropped up top, got dropped with body shots. So most shots people would have quit. And I didn't hear too many people talking about it, but I mean, he was a true warrior.
Antonio Orozco was his name.
Yeah, Ross. Yeah, you seen it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of respect for that guy after that. We need more fighters like him. I think guys like him is the reason boxing is where it's at today. I mean, he just kept coming to fight. I mean, most guys would have quit on the shots that he went down on, but he kept coming to fight against Ramirez. That might be the fight of the year.
It looks that way, man. It looks that way. But I think that one also somewhat resembled the Canelo versus GG fight if you kind of look at it closely. It's just that we expected more from GG, which takes away a little bit from the shine. But Orozco and Ramirez definitely put up a great show and equally matched in performance towards GG and Canelo, in my opinion.
Did anyone else catch the fight? Bucho recognize?
No, I didn't check. I didn't see it though. It was on Friday.
No,
so.
not I.
It's on the ESPN Plus app. If you guys have it, you got to go to the replay and then look at the schedule on top. It says like from Friday, I think it was. It was Friday or Saturday. I can't remember what it was. One thing important about what I saw important, and that is the dedication of his new trainer Robert Garcia, who said that he promises to dedicate his full training just for Jose Ramirez. And if Mikey Garcia had a fight on the same day with Jose Ramirez, it would be Robert Garcia following Jose Ramirez to his fight, and it would be the father of OG training Mikey at his corner. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I like Robert Garcia a lot. I think he's arguably the best trainer in boxing right now. I think he did a great job. They came out. I think what was the guy name? How you pronounce his last name?
Antonio.
Antonio. I think he was just a step behind Ramirez. I think they were similar in their skill set, but he just was a step slower in every aspect of the fight. But I mean, heart. I mean, you could argue this guy has the most heart in boxing right now. I mean, he's definitely top 5 from what I seen in them shots that he was taking, and he got caught right on that liver shot that people get that delayed knockout with, and he got up, he got dropped, he got up. You know, he just kept bringing it the whole fight. So, I mean, it's hard to say that GGG Canelo was better than this fight. Like, it's a toss-up. It's debatable. It's definitely
Mr. BDA and just sent me a message saying that.
Go ahead, brother.
Hold on, yo. Mr. BDA sent me a message saying that Ramirez is the best guy, not in the World Boxing Super Series tournament. So there you go, Mr. BDA.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Ramirez versus Prograis.
You know that one thing about the Ramirez and Orozco fight, Orozco was no pick off the litter, bro. Homeboy was actually the #1 ranked, undefeated, fighting for that title. He deserved it, and he it's not, you know what I mean. So it was a high caliber young prospect, you know, going for it all, and the fans want to see him again. That I think it doesn't see that points to the whole thing that the BDA talks about. It doesn't matter about the O. It matters about the fights that you produce. That's the whole. When you come out here and you hear all these characters come out on here and we talk about boxing, at the end of the day, we just want to see the fight. You know what I mean? Who gives a shit about the? Put these guys up against the best and let's see what happens.
Yeah, I definitely want to see Orozco again. I hope he definitely gets the opportunity. I wouldn't have mind seeing him in this tournament. I hope he definitely gets another shot. You know, at some point he gets put in position to get another big money fight. He doesn't need to fall off the earth from losing to another warrior. He should definitely still be getting respect, and I expect by him fighting on regular TV for his fan base to grow after that fight.
He'll be a good opponent for Adrian Broner because Adrian Broner himself is not coming off wins. You know what I mean? And
yeah, I can see that. That would be a very good fight.
Yeah, and he's high ranked all across the 140 division, and he's trying to, in my opinion, I think he's trying to unify the entire division because he feels that he can, but I don't know if he actually could do this. You know?
Yeah, I think either him or maybe has he fought Granados yet?
Adrian Granados, yeah, I believe he did. Yeah. Who, mean Orozco or Adrian Broner? Adrian Broner did, I believe, at one point.
No, I'm talking about Orozco. Maybe him and Granados would be a solid fight.
Oh, I see what you mean. That'll be a great fight.
All right, guys. I have a question for Precise because I don't know if he answered this. What do you want to?
What's up?
Yeah, what do you want next for Canelo and Golovkin?
What do I want? I'd like to see Golovkin move up to 167 and fight the winner of Groves. Was always named Smith, which would probably be Groves. I think that would be. I think that's the logical step. Unless, I don't want to see a third Canelo fight, but how do you say no to that kind of money? I think 160. He's been there, done that. Move up, man. It's probably tough making 160 for him. Let's see if he could, win a belt at 167. I think that would be great. But I didn't really get to share my thoughts because of my shitty internet. And before it
Oh
goes
yeah.
out again, I watched the fight again, and there's no way Canelo won the fight. I mean, at best, I gave Canelo 6 rounds, but watching it again, coming and tuning out fucking Max Kellerman, who was just painting his own story of the fight, was 7 rounds for me. And this whole narrative, how gave up the early round. Fuck no. I had him winning 2 out of the first 3. Fourth round, he absolutely schooled Canelo. I mean, it was embarrassing what he did to Canelo in the fourth round. So for people to say that, and I was one of those people who said that must be influenced by the commentators. Man, Kellerman was just spinning fucking. He was in spells that night. But after the first fight, I had Triple G 3-1.
Yo, you're
The first
breaking
3
up,
rounds
man.
were close and competitive. I'm
You're
breaking
breaking
up.
up again.
No, it's okay, bro. We
Yeah.
can understand.
Yeah.
We get your point. We get your point.
Yeah, I get your point.
But the first 2 rounds were close. But let me just say something about them body shots, man. Canelo did one good body shot in 3 rounds. The rest of them were just way below the belt, man. So I think if you counted those body shots, you gave Canelo those rounds. But I mean, I can't be counting low blows, man. And that's really what it is. And I know Triple G shorts were high, but they were below the belt. You know what I mean? Below the belt. So that's why I thought Triple G won the early rounds. Yeah, I mean, I still wouldn't call it a robbery and shit, but I can't see Canelo winning that fight, man. Draw maybe, but it is what it is, man. We all knew that was gonna happen, and no, I don't think anybody was surprised.
No, I think I was surprised. Precise. I think most of us were surprised seeing Canelo was the one pushing GGG backwards. That was surprising within its own, but completely understand your
I was
point.
trying to explain to you guys that you're not understanding boxing. Triple G should do what he was doing. That was my whole point for 6 months. I've been just blathering about this shit, telling you guys that he needs to box him. And if you watch that fight again, when he was controlling distance, Canelo couldn't do anything to him. It's when he stepped to Canelo, who was all of a sudden stronger than in the first fight, and maybe Triple G got that much older, but he was much stronger than in the first fight, and maybe his balls grew a little bit, but it was when Triple G went to war with Canelo where he was giving Canelo a chance of winning the fight. And when he was boxing him, and Canelo wasn't pushing him back, man. I don't understand that whole thing. Triple G was controlling the distance. And if anybody pushed anybody back with punches, landed punches, if even on the guard, it was actually Triple G. If anybody put anybody on the ropes, it was Triple G. Canelo couldn't cut the ring off, something that Triple G got criticized for, even though he cut the ring off like a motherfucker in the first fight. Canelo didn't even attempt to cut the ring off on Triple G. Triple G was just moving around him. He had him trapped in the middle of the ring. And even though Canelo was the ring general a little bit, if you got your boy trapped in the middle of the ring and you're dancing around him, not on the perimeter like what Kellerman was saying, bullshit, you're the ring general because you got him trapped in the middle of the ring. You're the general. So, I mean, this whole expectation, what he's supposed to do, that's like saying fighters can't be versatile. That's just these narratives that the media and HBO like to paint because they want to tell you who won the fight. It's nonsense. Triple G is well within his right to box. He wasn't running. He was controlling the distance with his jab. He threw and landed more punches. So how the fuck was Canelo the more aggressive one? I'm sorry I'm getting hyped, but I'm sick and tired of these bullshit narratives. If you're throwing more punches and if you're landing more punches, you're the aggressor, not the other guy. I mean, this is just common sense, man.
What was
People
the?
is just straight tripping.
Didn't he?
Go ahead, Bucho.
Didn't Golovkin land 30 more punches?
He landed like 50, 60 more punches. I don't remember
I think it
exactly,
was
but he
30.
outlanded him in 11 of the 12 rounds. Now, granted, Canelo had more power shots, but I mean, you really
I
got to
think the
look at
body
each
shot should count as
individual.
well, though.
When you look at the more significant punches, if I might throw my 2 punches in, if you look
Go
at the
ahead,
more
man.
if you look at the more significant punches, GGG outlanded Canelo in power punches only 3 rounds out of the whole 12 rounds.
Yeah, but
And
you know, you got to look at every single punch separately. Like if Triple G is outlanding him and he's landing 2 jabs to one of Canelo power punches that's partially blocked, and the jabs are clean and they're snapping his head back, then you know, are 2 jabs equal to the power punch? Probably, maybe even better. You know, you really got to look at each individual punch. You can't really look at punch stats, which aren't all that accurate anyway. I
the
mean,
problem
they
with
like. You go
go
ahead,
ahead.
man.
No,
No, well, I'll just say one thing because I counted Triple G's body punch. They gave him like 5 or 6 in the whole fight. He landed at least 15. You
no,
know
that's
what
what
I
I was
mean?
gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. He only landed, according to CompuBox, 6 body punches.
Yeah,
He landed more than that.
5 or
I just want to throw that
6.
in there. But go ahead.
He landed many more than that. He landed at least twice that. But you know, that's CompuBox for you. And Canelo was getting credit for low blows. Like he landed, don't get me wrong, man. He landed some good body punches. But like the best punch of the fight was Triple G's jab. The second punch of the fight was Triple G's uppercut. The third best punch was Canelo's left hook to the body. And after that, nothing else matters, man.
Did you see Golovkin comfortable the whole fight? Like when he was boxing and jabbing and moving?
No, not the
Yeah.
whole fight. Hell no. It was a competitive fight. Canelo had his moments. Canelo was bossing him also, but overall, Triple G was in control, except for the rounds that he lost big, which were really only a couple, and some rounds that it was a tug of war kind of a fight. But I mean, um, yeah, when Triple G was boxing, he was completely in control. Canelo couldn't cut the ring off. He was hitting nothing but air. His punches were, even if when they were landing, they were mostly out of range. Triple G was rolling them. He was partially blocking them. It's only when they got close and Triple G tried to go toe to toe with the young bull that Canelo had the advantage. But when he was boxing him, Canelo couldn't do anything. Like he
Well,
can't cut the ring off. You know,
part
like
of
why are
part
we? Yeah,
part of
go ahead,
that
man.
part of that was because of the narrative that Team GGG had imposed coming into the fight. In other words, when we talk about the ring generalship, we know whether you favor the elusive fighter, the counter puncher, the brawler, whatever it may be. But and at the end of the day, it's a show. You know, they're putting on a show for the fans to watch. And when we go see, for example, a Floyd Mayweather fight, we expect Floyd Mayweather to run around in circles, and this part of Floyd Mayweather's career, run around in circles, clinch a lot. And that's what people are paying, expecting him to get knocked out or win or whatever the reason you're there for, or just as a boxing fan, whoever wins wins. The same thing was with Canelo and GGG, but mostly because of the team GGG's what do you call it? Public relations, just pretty much saying this has to be a Mexican style. So it was a show, it was a circus about who was going to be the brawler, and I believe just because they said it to be in that particular tone, it backfired. It backfired to the point where all the close rounds, the judges said, "Hey, man, this is a show about toe to toe."
No, come on, bro. Be honest.
It
They
was a
didn't
close,
score.
but you
No,
said
no,
in
no,
your
no.
stuff it was a close fight. It was a close fight.
No, but that's not what I'm saying. They did not give all the close rounds to Canelo because of what Triple G said before the fight. They gave all the close rounds to Canelo because he's the cash cow. Let's keep it real, man. And as far as like expectations and what actually, like, fights aren't scored on the narrative going into the fight. They're not scored on the narrative during the fight. They're scored on clean and effective punching. We all know this. I don't need to say any of this. All
But
that,
that, but
all,
on the
all
clean and
that,
effective
like,
punches go to Canelo.
in some rounds, but not all the rounds. Fuck no, not all the rounds. And like, even if Canelo had the more effective punches, if Triple G is outlanding him by 20 shots, you're still not winning. I mean, come on.
But
Like the
there's only four criteria you got to look at it. Who had the better defense? Canelo landed the higher percentage, which means that GG missed a lot of punches given that defensive part of the criteria to Canelo.
I don't know that Canelo had better connect percentage because I saw him missing all night, man. They probably didn't. And I've done videos showing this how HBO will, when fighters like
Exactly. Yeah.
There,
when
there
they
was
miss.
only there was only 3 rounds where GGG either landed more power punches or he landed the higher percentage. But when it came to the significant punches across the board, at the end of the day, you have to give it to Canelo.
Yeah, well, I know you think Canelo won the fight, and I'm okay with that. I'm just giving you my perspective. I think Triple G won the fight, and
I
most
think
people
people.
agree with me. It is what it is.
I
No,
think people. I think
I
people
respect
get.
it. No, I'm sorry, real quick, because I respect your opinion, but this is just all boxing bar talk, and I enjoy the BDA debates. You know what I mean? It's
No,
just
I know.
what,
I agree. I
yeah.
agree. I'm just giving my perspective because I didn't get to really say anything last time. Well, go ahead, recognize, man.
Not to say that I agree with one over the other, but I do agree with what Precise was saying. Like some people some boxing fans go in and they take these punch stats and they take what the analysts have to say as the Bible. Okay, as the Bible. Again, I didn't watch the HBO broadcast, so for me to speak on that would be wrong. Okay, that's just going to be me speculating, and I don't want to look stupid. So I could talk about the broadcast I was listening to, which was Dougie Fisher, Kevin Kelly, I believe it was, and somebody else. Okay, I forget. The perspective that I got was what I was watching, which was um, Triple G won the fight, but the narrative was, but is it enough? They kept emphasizing on that. Was it enough? Right? Dougie Fisher was like, I think I have it a draw if I had to pick a winner, Golovkin. Right? That was his take on it. Kevin Kelly was like, I got Golovkin winning, but if they gave it to Canelo, I would understand. Okay, that was the narrative, and fine, because I kind of agree with, especially with Kevin Kelly and Dougie Fisher actually, that the fight was that close. Another thing, punch stat numbers has been proven to be wrong. I mean,
Yep.
there's a couple of guys that have gone out there and proven that these punch stat numbers are not totally accurate, which you can understand is human error. I mean, you got guys hitting a button saying, I think that punch landed. So they're doing it. They're not doing it with instant replay. They're doing it at the moment. And so I don't buy that. Now, again, was there cleaner punches landed by Canelo? In certain rounds, there was. Was there? But in the other rounds, Golovkin was landing his share of the cleaner and effective punches more so than Canelo. Again, I didn't watch the fight the second time around, but even people that I was watching the fight with, and they were like, "Listen, in my opinion, there's no way Canelo won that fight," which is fine. There's some people that are going to disagree with that. They're going to disagree with that. They're going to say, "Look, Canelo had a very good shot of winning." Now, I kind of lost my train of thought why I brought this up, but I'll just say this. Um, I will say that this was a very good fight, and this narrative that Canelo dominated, or
No.
there's no need for a third fight because it's going to get worse, which could happen. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but in terms of the evidence in the ring, I don't see it. I don't see where Canelo separated himself to Golovkin.
You don't see
Man,
Golovkin getting older?
sorry. I just encourage everybody to watch the fourth round again because I'm pretty confident most of you guys probably gave it to Canelo. But watch Triple G's jab in the exchanges. I mean, he absolutely schooled them in the fourth round. They're like, there's no way you could give that round to Canelo. But the narrative
I
was,
gave
yeah,
that fourth round
Canelo.
to Golovkin.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I
it
gave that
was,
fourth round
I
to
gave the
Golovkin.
fourth to
Yeah.
I gave the first to GGG for sure. I gave the first to Triple G, but I had him losing the fight.
yeah, I mean, Triple G's jab sometimes in the exchanges is so short and it comes like just
There's
real
7 up
straight.
left.
It's it's hard to see it, man. It's real hard to see it.
Oh shit.
And
And
Canelo,
Canelo's
that's
jab
all
was
it
pretty
is.
good as well, though. I was surprised with
Precise,
Canelo's jab.
and everybody on the panel, we should all know by now that Triple G's jab is not a regular jab. So I don't
No,
get caught up in the power punch department. Oh, he outlanded him by 27. Well, those jabs, when they're hurting you and they're snapping your neck back, what is that exactly? Okay, you could say category wise, um, that's a jab, not a power punch. But Canelo's neck and face is saying otherwise. It's saying I got to respect that. Okay, I have to respect that jab.
But I don't
That's
think
That,
that's a made up rule too, man. Like
of
you
course it
can't
is.
find me anywhere in the rules of boxing, Marcus rules of or Queens, whatever the fuck they're called. Anywhere in the rules of boxing and any other boxing associations or whatever, you can't find me anywhere where it says that a power punch is worth more than a jab. This is something the networks made up basically, and it's generally true. Yeah, like I agree, it's generally true, but
But in a
that's
way,
not.
I have to defend that though, man, because in a way, it's and you got to look at it this way, man. Let's say just common sense. You know what I mean? Two guys meet up. One guy lands a jab, the other guy lands a solid ass fucking straight, and then both guys say, they start arguing who landed the better punch. Who would you give it to? I mean, who won the fight?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
but then
Larry
you're looking
Holmes.
at individual punches. I'm talking about like the kind of jab that'll snap your head back or a
Yeah,
power punch that's partially blocked. I'm scoring the jab as a better shot. I mean,
Larry.
you look at amateurs, for example, it's all about, and I'm not saying you have to score like in the amateurs. Obviously, it's different, but it's all about knuckle contact, and there's some truth to this, and it's all about how clean your punch is. If no glove gets in the way of your jab, that's a clean scoring. It's not just about effective, it's also about clean punches. You could have a very powerful power punch that your opponent gets a glove in the way partially. That's not a clean punch. It might be an effective punch, but it's not a clean punch. Go ahead, bro.
Would they go by the rules on what that power punch versus the jab is the position how your shoulders roll towards the punches, what indicates that you got full momentum swing coming, because a jab is just basically you're just extending your arm out there. You can have a solid stiff jab and catch your opponent, somewhat off balance and knock them down. You still get the knockdown, but
That's
it'll
not
be still
true.
scored.
That's not
There's
true.
no. Wait, dude. There's nothing in boxing rules, and that would say
If you
that
look at
there's
the
a
punches, that's
jab.
what
There's
it's
a
all
jab.
based upon.
There's a no, but I'm saying that started with Punch That. When Punch That came out, when they started recording
No, there's four
punches.
there's four criteria: significant
Of
punches.
course, no, of course, but that's judging the fight, Mark. Like you're judging the fight. The judges don't have the punch stats in front of them.
Oh no, but
They're
I'm going.
not
I'm
looking.
going by the criteria. Who, if I'm a judge and I see a guy landing jabs and a guy landing power punches, as a judge, I have to give it
Okay,
to the guy.
if
Give it to
I
the partner.
if I'm out, okay, Larry Holmes, who was a heavyweight champion for a long time. Okay, Larry Holmes won most of his fight off his jab. His jab was the key weapon. That's boxing 101, bro. Whoever
Yeah,
controls the
it's a
jab
great.
is
Hold
It's a
usually
great
who's winning
weapon.
the fight.
hold on, let me chime in on it. I think it's ambiguous. It goes from fight to fight. It's not like a set
Of
rule.
course it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course it
it's
is.
very ambiguous because, like Floyd, later in his career, he was winning his fights with the jab and defense. So it's ambiguous. It can, like with Golovkin, he has a stronger jab. So I understand what you guys are saying, but no, it's not like a set thing where a power punch is over a jab because
But
guys
that's
can
like comparing Mike Tyson to Klitschko.
who.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I
Even
understand what
though even though Homeboy had an awesome, beautiful jab, don't get me wrong, he
yeah.
was nowhere the knockout puncher or the power puncher, marking those power punches like Tyson was. You know what I mean? It's a,
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I
it's a
disagree
difference.
with that. I disagree with that. He was a very oh dude, he was a very effective knockout puncher, Vladimir Klitschko. And he set that up because his jab wasn't a
Aggressive and
his
explosive. Just
he had an extraordinary jab. He
But
could knock you
uh,
out with his jab.
but when you
and
have
I
a
just wanted
jab versus a power punch,
He
there's
could
a
hurt you with
significance.
the jab.
I
The
just wanted to
significance.
say something of what you. I just wanted to reply to what you said about the jab being an arm punch. No, what Triple G does, he throws what Jack Dempsey in his book describes as a jolting jab. You
That lunge
step
forward with
into
it.
the jab, and the moment your front foot hits the canvas is the same time you're supposed to be landing your jab on your opponent's face or whatever. So it's not an arm punch; it's a jolting jab.
That's the Abel Sanchez signature jab.
But I get what ElDude. ElDude just saying for if you just
Yeah, again, but
giving it to the
the punch
casual.
stats, the punch stat numbers. I'm sorry, Trap. Just to get the punch stat number, it's not accurate. That's one. It's not 100% accurate. That's one. Number two, you could be you could be landing power shots, right? That means anything besides a jab, and I could be doing more damage to you with landing mostly jabs. And how can you not? How can you? How can you take away that even though I'm hurting you more with my jab, that it's not a power punch? That is a power punch. If I'm landing in your face and I'm hurting you, it's a power punch.
Yo, no, Paul, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Oh no,
And
my Jack
I
Russell,
don't know
he's
what the
off the
fuck
hook,
is
man.
that.
never trust CompuBox. CompuBox is BS for the most part.
Well,
I
let me
agree.
just remind you guys that CompuBox was off last time. I mean, if you go look at it, specifically, I'm looking at the right hands that Golovkin supposedly landed to Canelo in the first fight, and it says he landed like 95. And I thought he missed about 200 or 300 punches the first time, but I thought that number was complete BS. You know?
CompuBox is usually off. I mean, I see guys land 6 punches and CompuBox will have 1. Like, I mean, I don't trust CompuBox at all.
CompuBox usually favors the A side. We all know who the A side was. Triple G
Hey,
won the
precise. I wanted
CompuBox.
to mention something. I
What's
I,
up?
I caught you on another one of these BDAs, and I saw how you were outlining a plan for Golovkin to use, and
Yeah.
that plan was he was going to win. And I thought there was a sure way that he could have won. Actually, I thought he was going to take it like Klitschko and pull a Povetkin on Canelo. But that's the only thing I would have added is a clinch probably. But
Yeah, but he doesn't do that. He's got too much honor. He doesn't fight like Klitschko. He's like an honorable
well,
fighter, you know.
if you
Maybe
want
he
to say
can't
honor, then
clinch.
why didn't Canelo have him backing up? I mean,
He didn't have him backing up. Triple G was controlling the distance. Watch the fight again, bro.
oh, he was. Oh, okay.
Six punches to the body.
Controlling the
Yeah, but
distance,
I don't think
bro.
What?
Golovkin can fucking clinch. If he tries to, he's gonna get fucking counter to the body, fuck. Unless
Oh,
he
he was clinching
really
with Canelo.
times
He
it
was
well.
clinch. Yeah, he said he clinched with Canelo. He tried to.
If Canelo is swinging wildly and hit nothing but air, is he backing him up or is Triple G controlling the distance? Yeah, simple question.
Well, I saw
simple
Golovkin.
answer.
Precise,
Golovkin was missing as well, though.
Guardian vegan birds because Canelo clearly dominated that fight.
Clearly dominated.
That's your
I saw
opinion,
Golovkin
Trap,
missing.
and that's fine. I think I'm entitled to my opinion. And it just so happens, unfortunately for you, that most journalists and most people agree with me, but it is what it is. You're
But
in the
then again,
minority on this one.
most journalists are paid to say what they have to say.
Yeah, we know it's political. It's very political.
Yeah, I
just
know.
wanna,
Most journalists are paid to support the B side. That's right.
Well, there is one guy named GGG, and I did think that meant 666. I didn't know. I mean, I always thought that's what that meant.
Controversy
I
always
think a
sells,
lot of
bro.
people hate Canelo. That's what I
Yeah,
think.
controversy is gonna sell. Controversy is always gonna sell.
I don't know. My theory is that people were expecting retribution for what happened in the first fight, which in my opinion was a clear robbery. So at least this is all speculation. Maybe they felt sorry for Golovkin, man. I don't know.
Well, you know what? Well, one thing I did find kind of peculiar. You know what? I do honestly believe that this was a close fight. Me myself, I thought Canelo edged it out by barely like one round, and I mean, you guys all think that Canelo lost by a big margin last time. I thought, Canelo won that 8-4 easy. And what I was gonna say is I did find it odd how Abel Sanchez was, he was basically a little too, happy to just admit defeat, basically. I think what kind of eased his tension is they went over there and probably offered him the trilogy, and I think that, that's a bunch of dollar signs right there.
Golovkin's on his way out, and just like Freddie Rhodes sold out Pacquiao, why wouldn't Abel Sanchez sell out Triple G? They're basically done. So why wouldn't he sell his ass out?
No, he's not old, man. Because if you look at his
But sell him out.
Vanes Martirosyan, he destroyed Vanes Martirosyan just like he's been destroying everybody else. He just met Canelo.
His match, basically.
His match. He met his match with Canelo.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Canelo's a guy that could beat him in so many different ways. Precise. I mean, I can't believe you can't see that, dude. And he's a smaller guy.
You can believe what you want. No, I don't think Canelo, he's shorter arms, but you're trying to say he's smaller
And
than
you're probably the one trying to say he's a light heavyweight, still probably.
First of all, I've never said that. So, like you could, apologize for saying bullshit because I won't have any of that. Secondly, you guys could swing off the nuts of 27 or whatever, however old he is. Young buck in his prime waiting out, an old fighter that he didn't dare fight in his prime, and you could act like he did something heroic or something, whatever, when all he did was do something clever and basically waited his ass out. It's not like they fought each other prime for prime, which could have happened, and it could have been a completely different
Yeah,
story.
I asked myself why
Look,
Golovkin didn't fight.
Marvin Hagler was basically done at 35. He was basically done. Most fighters that fight that kind of style, by the time they're 35, 36, they're done. So, like, this wasn't like great glory for Canelo fighting, waiting out in no
Oh,
and
come
then,
on, bro. That's a big glory.
What was
Big,
Pacquiao doing at 36, bro? Or Mayweather, you know what I
well,
mean?
I
Were they
mean,
still doing real good?
there are
big
many
amateur.
fighters like that. There are fighters who could go a long time, and Mayweather, had a defensive
Oh, I
style.
guess Golovkin isn't one of them, right? That's what you're saying right
What, that he doesn't fight a defensive style? Well, maybe you think he does, but Golovkin's an aggressive fighter. We all know this, and these guys, they don't last as long. I mean, this is not like
Let me ask,
Golovkin's
let
aggressive,
me ask a
but
question.
he
Let me ask a
holds the
question to the
distance
panel.
so good that, you know what I mean? It's hard for people to get their punches in.
Let me
You
ask a
guys have
question to the
discussed that.
panel.
Everybody knows that.
But,
He hasn't taken that much damage.
brother, let me ask you a question real quick. Do you guys think that GGG could retain both the remaining titles that, for one, is being disputed by Trevchenko and Jacobs, and the other that's being held by Billy Joe Saunders? I think he still wins
Man,
the
that would
triple
make a
titles.
super fight, bro, if they could unify them all together and
That's
whoever's
what I wanted
better
to
win
do.
this time.
Because he's still the same GGG. He still has that potential.
He's
I
not the
don't know,
same
though, dude.
no.
GGG.
He took
The
a lot
Not
of
better
the
damage
same
in the
question.
fight.
GGG.
He
not the
knocked out
same.
Vargas Brother
Took a
Rose
lot of
just the
damage,
same way.
bro.
He been knocked out.
Yeah, but he's not the same GGG. No, he's not.
The better
That's
question is, do you think Canelo got the balls to fight Billy Joe Saunders? Because that style's all wrong for him.
I
That's
I
the
think
don't.
question.
Billy Joe Saunders has a better shot to fighting anybody because he satisfied all his mandatories. In other words, he's been fighting excuses not to fight GGG. He's been fighting. He's
Yeah,
been
but that
saying that he's
wasn't the question. But whatever.
no. He could. And I just no. But answer. It's easier
All
for
right,
Billy Joe
guys.
Saunders to make a fight with
I
anybody.
think precise. It's more of a question: is Billy Joe Saunders willing to accept all the terms? You know what I mean? That's what the real question is, because
The
you
ball's on
already
his
know
hand.
who the A side is, and
No,
they're
that's
not
not the
gonna
question I asked.
they're
But
not gonna want to fight in England.
I would really appreciate if you didn't like change what I said to suit your agenda, bro. I don't think that's very respectful. But my question was, Billy Joe Saunders, we know is a nightmare.
I think he has the
Let
balls
me
to fight
finish, bro.
Billy Joe Saunders.
Let me finish, please. I think Billy Joe Saunders, and I think most people would agree, is a nightmare style matchup. Which isn't to say Canelo can't win, because we all
Well,
know
what
Billy
if we
Joe.
got?
Can I finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just finish?
Yes.
So the question is, will Canelo take that big risk and go fight Billy Joe Saunders? Big risk insofar as, Jesus Christ, he might get embarrassed. He's not going to lose a decision, but he might get embarrassed. Or maybe he knocks him out. But it's a tough fight for him, right? Because
Yes, it
it's
is.
not going to be Mexican style.
No, it is. You're right. It is going to be a dangerous fight for Canelo.
All right,
And I think
guys.
that's
Yo,
the next
ElDude,
fight that the fans
I
want
have to interrupt. I have to introduce the one and only. Oops.
I was in back
I
though.
told you what's going to happen to Price. I told you he's going to be sleeping. I told you the ambulance is going to come. The oxygen mask is going to come out. I told you he's going to miss the main event. I told you all them things were going to happen.
Yo, Stu, what up?
What's happening, fellas?
What's up,
As you can
Stu?
see, we have a discussion going here. Okay, we didn't get your thoughts on Canelo Golovkin, so just go ahead.
Well, it's just funny that even after the fight, there's still a bit of controversy surrounding the fight. I mean, what I saw of the fight, I don't think anyone could claim robbery. I think it was that close. Very, very tough fight to score with the rounds, because it just depends what sort of work you like. And I think Golovkin, he definitely slowed down a bit, definitely aged. I think Golovkin fought better than he did in the first one, but I think he got his tactics completely wrong. To be honest with you, I thought the tactics were better than the first one, where he didn't fight as good. Well, I thought he fought well. Canelo was superb. You got to take your hat off to Canelo Alvarez. He stood in the middle of the ring, toe to toe with. Just shows you what a great fight Canelo is, and I'm mixed emotions with it, because I don't know what to think. Because I see a lot of people Golovkin fans really angry that they didn't get the decision. yeah, I don't know if you can call robbery. I thought it was a tremendous fight. I just think a young, hungry lion in the peak of his form was fighting a guy that's a couple of years past his best. And I've been saying it for a while now. I've seen the decline in this guy. Even the Danny Jacobs fight, he was nowhere near his best. We saw bits of it in the Kell Brook fight, to be honest with you. And I just think it was Canelo's time. I mean, I know I picked Golovkin to win on points.
Hold on, who's making the noise?
I thought his
Recognize, I
work
think it's
rate
you.
would be enough to win the fight. Although I was a bit worried about the judges giving him it, but I thought Canelo. I think he deserved the win. To be honest with you, I'm gonna say that.
Okay, so we have Stu saying Canelo won the fight. Yo, recognize.
Oh yeah, it was just yeah, recognise he's washing the dishes or something.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's just a very tough fight to score. I mean, some people will see it and give Golovkin it by 4 rounds. Other people will give it to Canelo by 4 rounds. It's one of them fights where, you know, but to me it was just so close. Either way, it wouldn't have bothered me. But I thought Canelo. I mean, I don't think we can say robbery and he robbed Golovkin and he don't deserve credit because he does. I thought he fought brilliantly. I just think he caught Golovkin 2 years past his best.
Same question that I ask everybody else. What do you want to see next for Canelo and Golovkin? Stu. Hello.
Say it again.
Jeez.
Who do I want to see
Canelo
fight next?
And Golovkin.
Golovkin, I'm not sure about Golovkin at the moment. I'm not sure if I think he's gonna have a couple more fights before he retires. But I'd like to see him get hold of Charlo. To be honest with you, I'd like to see him and Charlo fight. I mean, if Charlo's as dangerous as we keep hearing, then he should be able to hang in there with Golovkin, because he's aging. Let's be real. I mean, the Golovkin 2 or 3 years ago might have been just too much for Canelo. Just coming forward and I think I noticed a lot of sting off his punches, but I don't think he hits as hard. I think them training camps in Big Bear has taken its toll. The guy, I said it before. I think the training in Big Bear is taking its toll on the guy, and I think we saw that in the ring. I'm not sure. I'd say Charlo for Golovkin. Canelo Alvarez, I want to see him against Billy Joe Saunders because I agree with Precise. Style-wise, it could be a tough night for Canelo, and we want to see Canelo fight the best, so that'd be the fight I want Canelo to fight.
All right.
Hey, Stu, do you think GGG still has the capability of defeating whoever wins the belt, the IBF belt, and or Billy Joe Saunders?
I didn't get the question. What's the question? Sorry, Brian.
Well, I would like to see GGG go after the IBF and the WBO titles. Do you think he has a chance of winning those 2 titles?
Well, definitely. Let's be real. I mean, Golovkin is still a tremendous fighter, world-class fighter. Canelo Alvarez is a pound-for-pound fighter, and he had to fight the best he's ever fought, and he still could have lost it. I mean, against an aging guy. So we have to give Golovkin is a tremendous fighter. I just think he caught Canelo at the wrong time. I just think I just think it was an aging fighter against a guy in his prime, and that's it.
If GGG is looking a way to retire, I think that'd be the best way to gain those 2 middleweight titles left. Go up against Canelo for the trilogy, win, lose, and draw, and then retire after that.
Yeah, I mean, do the titles really matter to Golovkin anymore? I mean, the guy's been an undisputed champion. Was he undisputed? I think he was, wasn't he?
Almost.
He was the man at middleweight for 7 years. I mean,
yeah, this is what I'm saying.
He might as well be undisputed.
He was stripped, he technically still has right for that title for him.
I think if he could swap his belts for a win on Saturday, I think he would do it.
I want to see Charlo. There's a lot of hype. A lot of, some channels have been.
Charlo won't take that risk, Bucho. He will not take that risk. It's got to be worth something. It's got to be worth money. It's got to be worth belt.
Fighting Canelo is enough.
Allow Charlo to. I think they're going to go after Charlo's team is probably looking at Canelo, because if he loses, there's a lot of money on the line. There's a lot of money on the line for him in case he loses.
I see what you mean. I see what you're saying.
I think he will lose if he was to fight Canelo or Triple G right now. Yeah, I think they're probably looking at Canelo as, if we're gonna lose, that's where we want to lose at.
Now, he's a WBC mandatory, so
Well, they're
How's
gonna
that gonna
play.
play out?
They're gonna play the percentage game, or they're gonna try to see what the deal is. And of course, if you fuck around, because Canelo is all about that A side and making sure he gets the money he feels he deserves, right? And he might be 100% right. If they fuck around and try to, they try to play that game where they're gonna wait it out, make it go to the purse bid, which I don't think they'll be able to because De La Hoya is. I would think De La Hoya wins a purse bid against Al Haymon. I'm not sure, but anyway, if they try to take that route, they're not gonna get the fight. That's basically what's gonna come down to. If Charlo wants that fight, he's gonna have to oblige to Canelo's rules, the A side rules, and in terms of the fight itself, I don't see that much skill set from Charlo that I could say he beats Canelo.
I think we're seeing a fight too, just to show off the belts and shit like that.
The what?
I heard Canelo's looking to get a fight in December, but it'll be against most likely a tune-up fight just to show off his title. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Apparently, that fight won't happen in December because of the cut. The cut apparently is deep, and it's gonna take time to heal. So
Yeah,
Oh,
no
you're
December
right.
I think
fight.
Ring IQ was trying to say that Lemieux's actually Canelo's mandatory right now. So if he can fight December, I know there was some questions because I think he did have to go get stitched up, and you know what I mean. He was probably a little hurt, just like Golovkin. I mean, there was some questions of whether he wanted to squeeze one in December, and I don't know if that was a pay-per-view fight.
That's not happening. That's not happening, bro. There's no way Canelo is gonna squeeze one in December. I mean, you can bet your life when he got up in the morning, he's pretty sore.
Nah,
Don't know.
Canelo
Yeah,
got the Mexican holidays. That's it. The Mexican holidays belong to Canelo. He's
Yeah.
a pay-per-view fighter from here on out. He's not. There's no fucking.
No, when you're making it, when you're making $30 million, you don't need to fight in December, do you? Let's be real.
It'll be smart to get rid of his man.
No, why would Canelo?
Yeah.
Why would Canelo do that for who?
Maybe an easy ass fight though, like
Yeah.
Monroe type or Curtis Stevens type,
Just to give the fans like an early
Okay, he got
knockout.
nothing to do. Let's say he got.
or a Mortar Ocean type, a la Triple G type.
There you go. Yeah, the fans need to see some blood here and there.
He has two mandatories. One of them is Lemieux and one of them is Charlo. So if he took one, it probably would be Lemieux.
Amir Khan's looking for a big fight, so hey, why not run that one back? If anybody,
he can fight Brooke, right?
If anybody,
if he wants to squash that, he can bring Brooke in, huh?
Yeah, Brooke's a lot better than Amir Khan. Get over yourself, man.
If that fight happens again, give the Undertaker a ringside ticket because he's gonna need.
Oh,
he's
hell
gonna be,
yeah.
I mean, he could fight Martin
can't
Rosen.
compare
Martin
Brooke
Rosen did
to
talk a lot of BS about Canelo, right?
but come on, name anyone on this planet that wants to see that fight.
Nobody. I was just messing around, Stu.
David Lemieux. That would make sense in December.
What about
remember, wasn't it Munguia? It was supposed to be
Munguia,
the one who was supposed to fight GGG, not Marty Origin.
See, I got a feeling.
Yeah, you know who else? Laura said he'd go to 160 to fight Canelo and Triple G. He just was talking about that.
Who? Mayweather?
No, Laura just said he'd go to 160 to fight Canelo and Triple G.
What is it with Lara, man?
What's up with Lara?
Laura needs to go home.
Fuck out of here. We're still talking about Lara.
Lara fought Billy Joe Saunders, bro. What kind of fight would that be? I swear to God, before I die, I want to get runner versus runner at least once. So to see what would happen.
Here's the thing that Frank Warren put that on BT pay-per-view as well.
Lara should go with Eddie Hearns. He'll probably do something good with the market.
Well, I think Lara makes good money without Heyman. I mean, he doesn't have that many fans, but he makes about $1 million per fight. So they're taking care of him.
Well, let's be real. Jaime Munguia.
I'd rather see dry paint than fucking watch Lara fight, please.
Yeah. Jaime Munguia is the one they're building up for the Canelo fight. That is one that's definitely down the line. I mean, I got a feeling that the next fight will be David Lemieux. You know, Golden Boy wants to keep it in house whenever they can, and I think they've been building Lemieux up for ages. They tried to get belt off Saunders so they could make the fight, and he got his ass whooped. So that's the fight. built. But that's the fight. You can bet your life the next Canelo fight will be David Lemieux.
I agree. They've been building that for like 2 years now, so it's going to happen.
Hey, I actually think Lemieux, if he gets lucky, he's got a puncher's chance to probably knock Canelo out, dude. So
Fuck out of here.
no,
Fuck out of here.
you don't think so? That dude's got hella
Crazy,
power, man.
If he lands, but you know what? He's not gonna land shit.
Hell no. Hell
He has a
no.
puncher's chance. He has a puncher's chance.
Let's hype up David Lemieux because Canelo's fighting now. When he fought Golovkin.
Oh.
David Lemieux is like the Deontay Wilder.
That's not what I said, precise. I said he has a chance.
It would be a
I
solid.
didn't say he was a good boxer.
It's a solid build up to the Billy Joe Saunders fight. We can compare how both of them did against him, and then next year we can get the Billy Joe fight.
Yeah,
but back to Munguia real quick. I don't think Munguia can handle Hurd, man. But that's the fight I want to see. I think Hurd is the main threat right here.
Hey, you know what? If Hurd,
hold on. Let's talk a bit.
I was just going to say, Canelo will swallow Lemieux's punches. They're not rocking. Let's be real. He ate fucking Golovkin's punches for 24 rounds. David Lemieux is a big puncher, but I think that O'Sullivan puncher made him a lot bigger puncher than what he really is. Because when he's hitting world-class fighters, they're not going over like that. I mean, O'Sullivan, he's already lost to Billy Joe Saunders about 4 or 5 years ago. Got completely schooled. Do you know what I mean? So David Lemieux has no chance whatsoever because Canelo Alvarez is a world-class counterpuncher. And he will school David Lemieux. That'll be as embarrassing as the Billy Joe fight, but instead there'll be a knockout in this one. Golovkin, Lemieux will get stopped.
And Spike was 20 pounds
lighter.
Yep.
Yeah, lighter than Lemieux.
Well, Spike has no business super middleweight. Then he should be fighting at middleweight.
He's going back down because he said he's going to 154.
Lemieux's not a big super middleweight. He's not a big guy. Billy O'Saunders look massive in there compared to him.
Lemieux's basically just a heavy guy, and he's short, and he's probably got some really short arms.
We need weight limits in boxing. These guys coming in 20 pounds overweight is unfair for the weight class.
IBF.
Yeah, that's that title, huh? 10 pounds limit.
Yeah, maybe we can do a better shot going after the winner of Jacobs and Golovkin.
You muffled, ElDude. You muffled.
Yep.
Oh,
by the way, guys,
it'll be
sorry. Let me just say something, man. ElDude.
Jacobs and
Sorry, I just want to put something right. I said super middleweight. He should go down to middleweight. I meant he should go down to light middleweight. He's not a middleweight. David Lemieux's a small middleweight. That's what I meant. I said super middleweight.
No, come on, Stu. He can barely make 160. He'll be a dead man walking at junior middleweight.
Who you on about? Spike?
Are you saying? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said David Lemieux. I was going to say, are you?
Yeah, I mean, when you're giving 20 pounds away to a guy that's not really big, and he's not big middleweight. He's not. And when you're giving away 20 pounds to that guy, then you really need to go down a weight because what are you going to do when the big guys get hold of you?
Yeah, when he got punched, you can see he got punched by a man that outweighed him by 20 pounds because he just like he had that reaction like, oh shit, like damn, this is
Spike just looked like Spike looked like he drank a bottle of whiskey after that punch.
Did you guys hear Bob Arum destroying the whole card and the production by HBO saying they need to get out of pay-per-view and boxing? He said it was a horrible undercard, it was a horrible delay and a horrible production. The HBO needs to stop. Do you agree?
The delay occurred because all the fights ended by stoppage. So that was.
I'm good with stoppages, man.
Yeah, it's just competition. It's just.
I actually appreciated that because that gave us time to go refill up on beer. You know what I mean?
I was at the bar, so no.
Exactly. I got to fill up my chips and dips and all that stuff, and yes, you're right. I mean, it's like the knockouts are always come on, man. Knockouts are like home runs, right?
Now he was saying that the guys were overmatched. That's what he was saying. He said, "Come on, Brian Cook and
they were." He's right about that. They were overmatched.
No, but Cook was ranked number 3 under Munguia.
Yeah, I mean he was way smaller.
Yeah, Munguia.
But ranking is the ranking too.
Munguia is a middleweight, or Munguia is only 22, I believe, and he's that big already. That kid is probably gonna.
what's probably going to serve him best is light heavyweight when he's all said and done.
Yeah, that's what they said. He came in as a light heavyweight.
He's actually not bigger than Hurd, though. I mean, I can see that.
Hurd is a
Hurd is
heavyweight.
bigger. Yeah, Hurd is bigger.
Hurd is like 210 pounds or something.
But that's the fight to see, man. Munguia versus Hurd. That's what I want to see.
Hurd looks like a younger Shannon Briggs. That's how big he is.
I think we get that fight next year. The Hurd versus Munguia.
Hey, wasn't it weird how Lara was down to switch his style up for Hurd? You know what I mean? A guy that obviously had more reach.
You don't have a choice against Hurd.
I think he had no option but to do that.
Oh, he can't go on his usual back foot and jab him?
No, not against Hurd. Hurd makes you fight his style.
Oh, okay.
Hurd makes you fight. Hurd makes you fight, and I don't think Lara obviously didn't have the punching power to neutralize that. When you're fighting a guy that comes to fight and you don't have the power to neutralize him, he's gonna make you fight, and you saw what happened, obviously.
Look at Trout too. Trout is no joke, man. This guy's top level fighter.
Well, I don't think he had the power to neutralize Canelo either, and yet he ran like he didn't want to even engage or anything. You know,
Canelo was destroying his body, though, man.
That fight, he was younger. He was younger, and he like, I get what you're saying. He just booked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he was like I'm out of here. After the 5th or the 6th round, I don't remember that fight. You know, because obviously it's not a memorable fight. He just said, "Fuck this, I'm out."
Canelo has no lateral movement, and Hurd has actually decent lateral movement. He could cut the ring off. Canelo can't, so that's why Lara was able to run away from Canelo.
Hurd
takes the next middleweight threat. I think he's moving up. After dominating the light middleweights, and he'll be the big threat at middleweight.
Yeah, he said he wants those guys. He said he definitely wants those guys. But I got a question. Before this fight, were you guys against Canelo, like anti-Canelo, or how did you guys view his career before this fight?
I viewed his career as very good. I don't like the A-side diva shit because I thought he got fucked over early in his career because of that, and for him to be doing that, I didn't kind of like. I still don't like it. But Canelo, make no mistake about it, Canelo is I've always thought he was a legit fighter. So, he's a legit top.
You gotta look at his age, man. His age. He's still growing, you know what I mean? And at the time he was fighting, for example, Floyd Mayweather, Trout, Lara. I mean, the guy was still learning. So there's not much to critique from him. The critique has to come from now on. What is he going to do now that he defeated EG? You know what I mean? I think that's the major test.
For me, I've always called Canelo's praise. I think he's a special talent, top 3 pound for pound for me. Guy will fight anyone. He proved that fighting Golovkin twice. I mean, not many guys want to fight Golovkin once, never mind twice. And he's proved what a great fighter he is. I mean, I think when he was younger, I think he had a lot of he fought a lot of bums, and it took a while to step up. I think he had about 38 fights before. But people don't understand. They just look at a record and see 38 fights. But Mexicans got no, especially Canelo, had no amateur pedigree. The guy was starting pro at 14, 15 sort of thing. So you got to let these kids grow into men. And now he's in the peak of his career, top 3 pound for pound.
Yeah, they claim the rank. You have to claim the rank one way or another.
He started when he was 15. He might be done by you know what I'm saying? Like he might say, I'm done at 32. I'm finished.
Did you guys see that they have put that other draw on his record too?
He got 2 draws.
Oh, I think that one's always been there. So he has 2 draws.
Yeah, that's always been there. And you know what? That one guy, he's from Tijuana, I believe, right at the border, and he would always call out Canelo saying, if he wants the rematch, I'm right here waiting for him. But homeboy never really did much but become a trainer over at.
If I knew Canelo and I sparred him in Mexico, I'd be spreading rumors that I beat his ass. He needs to fight me.
No, there's rumors that
That would
Canelo
be a
killed the
good way
sparring
to get
partner.
a fight, huh?
I'm that guy.
That he killed the sparring partner.
No.
Canelo literally killed the sparring partner. There's rumors, and that he
Man,
actually killed the sparring partner.
you can't compare a guy at 15, man, to 28, man. It's just not. You can't even compare 5 years ago.
Exactly. I was just going to say that, right?
Who fought Mayweather? I mean, the guy today, the guy that's fighting today, is just night and day, bro.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed about Canelo, he's improved every time I've seen him. It's not like he's going stale going through the motions. He's actually improving every time, and his defense. I mean, fucking different fighter altogether defensively. When you go back to when he was a young fighter coming out, he got hit all the time. Fucking his defense was non-existent. This Canelo is hard to hit clean. I did notice one thing about Golovkin. Golovkin was hitting Canelo with straight punches all night, and I think I don't know why.
Real quick,
I think he didn't
brothers,
have room to loop him.
real quick, there's a boxing scene article. There's a boxing scene article where it says, "Wait, Canelo beat his sparring partner to death." So I guess it goes into the. There's rumors that he actually did.
Wait,
you want that to be true, don't you?
No, I'm just
Oh,
saying. Being in Mexico, brawling against all these guys, man. I mean, who knows? Man. Hungry guys trying to make a dollar. You might not know.
Hey.
And also rumors that Errol Spence knocked out Broner and whooped Floyd in sparring too. So,
but I think Floyd admitted it. He said homeboy gave him a heck of a fight.
Now. I got a rumor I want to spread right now. I want to revenge my brother's death. Canelo killed my brother. Make that fight happen. Spread it around. spread that around Twitter. That recognizes imaginary brother was murdered by.
Yo, no jokes. I just read a rumor that Tekashi 6ix9ine died.
Serious?
Yeah,
I thought he was
but I don't know if it's true. I'm trying to check. Anyways,
tell
this
someone.
fight's fake. Come on, man. He's dead. Nah, I doubt it.
First Mexican rapper that makes it mainstream, and he's dead. That's crazy.
just half Mexican.
Huh?
See, don't come to California and start talking shit, man. We're cool, but motherfuckers out here just too quick to fly. This is fucked up.
Wait, are you serious? They saying he's dead?
No,
I think it's a rumor.
No.
Oh shit.
He better be careful. He better be careful in New York. They don't like him out here. They're about to do him in.
Hey, I think he's protected by the powers that be, or else something would have happened to him a long time ago.
No. Street politics. Street politics.
Street
politics.
He's an Illuminati whore. He's not gonna
That's what
die.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
No.
Just say Illuminati.
He's with the biggest gang in New York.
That ain't nothing over here in California. If he comes over here, I mean, they don't respect
NYPD.
Yeah, they don't respect none of that.
The NYPD is the biggest. The biggest gang in New York.
No, they tapped in Cali too. They tapped in Nickerson Gardens. It's street politics. But
yeah, I know what you mean. But listen, listen. These guys, I really doubt all the problems that they have with each other. It could be for publicity as well.
Oh, it's all drama, huh?
Yeah.
Gotta go, brothers. Thank you for having me. Catch you later.
All right, man. See ya.
All right, dude.
No problem, brothers.
But yeah, man.
All right. I wanted to talk about. Well, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Because my plan was just a short.
I want to talk about Povetkin and AJ.
That's tomorrow. Tomorrow.
All right, my bad.
Mañana.
All right, I'll be down for that one.
Yeah.
Any
Okay.
any chance that Eddie Hearn gets his hand on Canelo?
Ooh, no.
Nah.
Wouldn't he have to switch promoters to go to the zone?
No, you don't need to. Canelo won't go. He doesn't need to go anywhere, mate.
But Canelo's in a unique situation. He doesn't need to.
He doesn't.
Right? I mean, the guy's making. What did he make for this fight? $50 million.
Well, Golovkin
30 million.
A big percentage of his purse this time. So I would be surprised if he even makes more than he did the last fight, because the last fight I think it was a 70-30 split. And you know what?
Yeah,
I was just going to say, did you guys read that Frampton Warrington's been signed, isn't it?
Frampton Warrington,
yeah,
I like Warrington a lot.
Yeah, that's a good fight to look forward to. I mean, Billy Joe. I'm not sure what to think about Billy Joe Andrade. I got a feeling it might be a bit of a stinker.
I'm gonna be falling asleep watching that fight.
Yeah,
I got Billy Joe by knockout.
Oh,
whoa!
What?
Nah, you're crazy.
I don't know.
10th round.
All right.
10th round.
Look, we seen Vinus put him down. Let's not act like he hasn't been dropped.
I agree, but man, I just don't see Billy.
But that's not Billy Joe's style.
Very low knockouts, doesn't he?
Yeah, but Billy Joe gets hyped for the fights that a lot of people are paying attention to. He's coming to America. He's trying to make that big zone boom. We got to show Billy Joe some love, man. I was impressed by his last fight with Lemieux. Billy Joe is coming to make a big boom in the next 2 years.
I almost went to Lemieux fucking Saunders, man. Thank God I didn't watch that shit. I was gonna buy tickets, man.
You said say that again. What you said?
I was
I
gonna
think
buy
it's
tickets for Lemieux against
Sorry.
Saunders, and I didn't.
Yeah.
So thank God.
I mean, it was still a great performance though. Even though it was one sided, he went out there and put on the show. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a lot of big stuff going on with the zone. Shout out to Eddie for putting on some good fights.
I agree.
Yeah, he's doing okay. I'm not gonna.
Hey,
I'm not gonna
what is the
overhype it,
price
or I'm
of
not
the
gonna.
zone gonna be on the stateside? Does anybody know?
The app is like $10, bro.
Yeah, and I
Here's
think they fight in
$12.
Boston. They fight in Boston, right?
What, the Andrade and Billy Joe?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh shit, it's here.
Yeah,
That's-
Boston.
Got it now. Now I know why he was wearing that gear.
About the
Andrade.
tea party,
Yeah, you get it.
What do
It
you
took
have
a
like?
while. I was like, wait a second, what the fuck is
Oh
he
yeah, that
doing
makes
right now?
sense. No, I didn't get that either. Nah,
Hey,
it
remember he
makes
said
sense.
the Brits are coming. That's where
Yeah,
that's where
yeah.
that's where it happened. That's where it happened.
Okay.
Yeah. The British are coming.
Yeah, when's that
this
fight?
still-
Let's do the BDA meeting for that fight.
I see. Hey, did you see that Billy Joe Saunders video? He's in his, I think he's in his Bentley or Rolls Royce, whichever it is, with Kid Galahad and some other
Oh,
guy.
he got in trouble for that, Stu.
Yeah, he pulled over to some fucking crackhead bitch, and she's obviously a prostitute. And he's like, oh, he's
One of his
like, oh, I've
girlfriends, you mean? You
got
mean
some
one of his
crack
girlfriends?
cocaine.
Oh, I think we lost two.
Oh shit.
Getting what Stu was talking about, he might get in trouble. You know how they are in England; they don't allow none of that.
So wait,
type
he
of-
pulled up to a crackhead? Is that what he did?
Yeah, I didn't see the
prostitute?
video.
$250 worth of crack or
So I
something.
mean, I think Billy.
But
he got this prostitute to fucking smack this just guy randomly walking by the car.
Yeah, he's nuts.
nut job.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
he's
I
a
got
nut
another
job, man.
question. Was this the most impressive win on Canelo's resume?
No.
Were you guys most impressed?
I thought we
think
closed
it
the
was his
case.
most
Not what was.
impressive. I think it was his most impressive performance, even though I thought in terms of points, he lost by an edge. And I'll tell you why. Because even if you thought he lost the fight, I mean, how many people take Golovkin's punches that flush, that many times, and
Yeah,
still
he won the
standing
story.
and keeps coming forward.
He won the story of the night.
And it
I
was
think
was able to make his damage as well at the same time.
He won the story. He won the story of the night.
He won the story, right? I hate that. That's such a stupid
cliche,
saying.
huh?
Yeah, he won the story. Yeah, okay. You mean the story you created, Kellerman, right? But look, to me, it's the Golovkin fight. And I would say both fights, because I got to be honest with you. I really didn't give. I got to be really honest, especially in that first fight. I didn't give Canelo much of a chance of winning. Now, I thought he lost both fights. Okay, don't kill me. That's just my opinion, right? Thought he lost both fights, but it's not about losing. It's not about winning and losing. And I think Trap said this. It's about how you fight. It's about how you conduct yourself in the ring. And I'm saying to myself, man, with the punches he's landing on Golovkin and the punches that Golovkin is landing on him, I think Canelo takes out anybody at middleweight just about that he was hitting Golovkin with, and I think it's the same thing, vice versa. I think that the punches that Golovkin was landing on Canelo takes down, or at least drops any middleweight. And for that, Canelo, to me, he's a warrior. He's a diva, but the fucking kid is a warrior. You know, you got that Mexican. He's got that Mexican chin, bro. That Mexican head.
I think Golovkin has. I don't think you lose your power. I think he's lost the snap, because with Golovkin, it's not about throwing his whole body weight behind the punch. It was all technique with Golovkin, and I think that the venom and the force of it used to cause the knockouts. I just think he's slowed down a bit. They're not as sharp. They're not as fast. And I think it's not about. I don't think he's lost power.
It was there against Varnes, though. It was there against Varnes.
Yeah, but come on, Varnes was a 154 fighter. He had no business in the ring with a guy like Golovkin anyway. Canelo would have done that to Varnes. Do you know what I mean? So
almost any other fighter taking those punches against GGG the other night would have gotten knocked out.
No, I agree,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is, I think Golovkin hit harder before. I just had more venom in his punches. I still think he hits hard. Don't get me wrong, but because you never lose your power like that. I just think he's lost a bit of snap. A lot of I think it's with getting old.
He seemed tense. I just think Canelo had him a little bit tense. Maybe it was the lights, maybe it was the crowd, maybe it was Canelo's confidence, but whatever it was, he seemed a little bit more tense than usual, and that can affect your
I,
power.
I actually said on a podcast a while back that I think Kell Brook showed in clips what you had to do to beat Golovkin, where he stood in the middle of the ring and he threw punches in bunches, and he was landing
I
constantly on
agree.
Golovkin and forcing him back. He just wasn't strong enough, or tough enough, or big enough to carry it on, and he got destroyed. But Canelo is that guy. He is tough enough and he's strong enough. I think Canelo showed that if you walk, I don't think he walked Golovkin back, but he just stood in the center and he traded with him. And Golovkin likes to come forward and come onto you. And I think a lot of that fight, Golovkin was retreating with the jab, and I think it was just out of his comfort zone. That's why I think he fought the wrong fight. I think he should have, like he
It
did in the first one.
it threw him off. He just stood on that front foot. It was kind of like how when Ali kept saying he was coming to dance against Foreman, and he actually came and laid on the ropes, and I think it just was a shock, like,
Hmm.
well, oh man, like he thought
That's what I
Canelo was
said.
coming to dance, but Canelo
Yeah.
just stood on that front foot and went to work. And I think it kind of threw him into shock because it was something he hadn't prepared for.
It's something he'd never seen. He's used to fighters just retreating on him. And
Yeah, that was probably the first fight in his whole pro career where he
yeah,
had
of
to do
course.
that, which is
It's the bully. When the first time you punch the bully nice, then you're gonna find out, is he really a bully, or has he just never been tested?
And
Yeah,
I gotta
which
say, I never thought that in a million years. I never thought this would have happened to Golovkin because I know even Precise was saying that that's what Golovkin had to do to switch it up and basically win on points. But never did I imagine that this is what was gonna happen.
The impressive thing to me was, and I think De La Hoya said it first, a couple of years back. And they asked him, "How do you beat a guy like Golovkin?" He goes, "It's going to be hard, but I think you're gonna have to back him up a few times, or at least stand your ground." He said something to that effect. He said, "Either stand your ground or back him up a little bit, right?" But I mean, not make him, not that he's backing up on his own will because he wants to control distance. I mean, back him up because he has no choice. He has to back up now. And I think he
exactly.
was. I think he was about. I think he was pretty accurate in saying that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. The impressive thing to me was that Canelo was able to stand in the middle of the ring.
yeah.
I think I do agree with Precise a little bit. I think that was part of the game plan also with Golovkin. But I also think that Golovkin also at times had like no choice but to back up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And by the way, whether Golovkin won or lost, I mean, he was in a fucking fight. Cause just look at his
Oh
fucking
yeah.
face. I know they say don't look at the fighter's face. He doesn't tell you what happened in the fight. So, like I said, I'm not saying he lost or
I
won,
disagree with that.
but look at his fucking face. You know,
What do you mean?
and
Don't look at the
I don't want to
man's
hear
face.
excuses, man, like that.
You mean the evidence that he was getting punched like that? Like the same thing I heard with Mayweather and Maidana. When I was telling people I thought Maidana won that fight, bro. Thought Maidana won both fights, in my opinion. Again, you could score the fight the way you want to score it. I thought Maidana won both fights because
No,
look at their face.
he wasn't landing though. He was throwing a
When
lot.
he did land, he hurt. He was hurting Floyd, and I thought Floyd was just landing punches to score,
Come back,
points.
Chino. We need Chino back in boxing. They said
Nah,
he
he's
was losing
fat.
weight.
He's too fat, man.
I think he could
Yeah, yo,
probably make it
have
to
you
like
seen how fat
180
he
or
is?
something.
He's
Have
super
you seen how
fat.
fat Chino is?
Yeah. He said he was getting back in the gym, working on losing weight.
He's
Yeah,
probably gonna
good for him.
sport on sumo wrestling.
I hope he comes
Well,
back, man.
how
I like
long? How
Maidana.
long has it been since he had that? Since the mate? Because the last fight was.
4 years, 3-4 years.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Trap. I really
Nah,
don't know.
there's no way back for
You,
Madonna.
all of you would be like him.
Last time I see him, he's walking around at 195 pounds.
No, but Robert was talking about it. He said if he got in shape, that he would train him again. He just didn't know if Chino's heart was still in it. But I mean, if
Nah.
Chino comes back to the welterweight division, get him a few tune-ups for about a year,
How
Man, I
old
would
is
love to
he?
see Maidana.
How old is he?
I think about 27, maybe.
What?
Who's
No.
27?
Who's
Is
27?
Maidana older than that?
Maidana was
Ah.
27. He was
Oh,
27.
Gotta
What
be
the
at least
hell?
33, right?
He was
He's
27 when he
36.
fought Khan, I think.
Try 37.
Oh wow, he's
Yeah.
35. He's 35. I didn't know he was that old. He got a young face. Oh no, this ain't Chino. This hold on. No, this is him. This 34. He's born in 1983.
So he's
Born
35.
1983?
Yeah,
He's
July
35.
2nd,
He's 35.
1983.
Yeah, so he's 35 years old.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyways, guys, I gotta go get ready for work. BDA,
All right, man.
Bucho, I really appreciate you guys letting me get it on this. And then everybody else, thank you.
All right, see you next time.
Juan.
You guys have a good day, all right?
All right, ciao, man.
Bless up.
All right. What are we talking about?
Oh, no, we was just
Maidana.
speaking on
How do you get into
Chino.
this
Hey,
shit?
We're talking about Fat Chino.
He's not coming back. All right, guys, I'm gonna end it.
Fat
'Cause-
Chino looks like Fat LP.
oh yeah, this guy. Did you guys see Low Place? He made a song about. Did you see it?
This kid is high. He's high.
Yo, what the fuck was that? He only fights bums. I don't know some shit.
He only fights the bums. I don't respect Triple G.
Oh man.
The guy is fucking. He's lost the plot. He has lost the plot.
Yeah.
Low place is one flew over the.
That's fucking Low Place, man.
Would y'all want to see Triple G Kovalev?
Nah.
You know what?
I mean,
All right, come on. Now you're like Low Place.
Triple G. Well, okay. Let's say Kovalev beats Alvarez, right, in a rematch. And Canelo, Golovkin goes. Let's say he goes up to super middleweight and wins the belt, right? Like we were talking about. Then, that fight does look attractive. It does. If they can meet somewhere, I don't know,
Catchweight?
No.
or 175.
Let's stop this. Stop this conversation right now. Let's stop this. This doesn't make sense. It's not even a money fight.
Nah.
I mean, Golovkin would make more money fighting Zurdo Ramirez, to be honest. And he has a
It's just not
belt.
a fight. It's not a fight anyone wants to see, really. I mean, both coming off losses. You know what I mean? So
That's why I said it.
yeah, I know. But then when you're coming off a loss, it's not the sort of fight you want. You don't want to be going up to light heavyweight to fight a guy that was a monster in that division just a few months back, sort of thing, a year back, sort of thing. So
But
it's a terrible fight for Golovkin.
And recognize this in his scenario. If he went up, got a belt, and then they met at a catchweight, I think people would be tuned in. You guys won't watch that fight. Come on.
Probably,
Yeah,
but I
that's a
wouldn't be excited.
hardcore fight.
Yeah, go on, Pete.
No, it's just a hardcore fight. It's a nice fantasy matchup, but it just doesn't make any sense.
No.
But it's as far as fantasy matchups go, it's interesting.
I don't think he would sell though.
No, but
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, it's a.
The fight that's intriguing to me is Canelo. Not Canelo. Triple G and Groves fight. That would be nice for me.
Yeah, I'd watch that. I'd definitely watch that. And that could be pay-per-view in the UK. That could.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
that would be exciting. That would be a
might be an
good
option.
fight to watch.
yeah, it would be a good fight. It's whether Groves can take, because Groves, the tanks are, it's tank man. He always runs out of steam later on in the fight, and Golovkin he comes on constantly for 12 rounds. That's what I think about Golovkin. Although
But
I thought
he's a hard puncher and he attacks the body well, so he could give Golovkin issues, man.
he could. He's a lot bigger guy as well.
Exactly.
All right, guys, I'm gonna end the show. I'll do one tomorrow for Povetkin Joshua. So get your thoughts ready for that. All right, thank you for coming, guys.
You got to jump on for that one.
Yeah, I guess so.
Shout out everybody for having me on. Shout out everybody for coming on. Shout out to all the vegan fighters.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Hey, vegan, who's that then? Timothy Bradley.
We gotta get precise a Gardein burger. Shout out to the chat, Trap Media.
Trap is a vegan, by the way, and that's no joke. All right.
Yeah, he won't last. He won't last. He'll get over it after a few years. He'll be eating meat and lying about it.
Gonna have to send you
Bacon.
some Gardein burgers over to Ecuador, man. We gotta get you right. Get you some nice papayas, some mangoes, some apples.
I
Gonna
love
get you
mangoes.
right, man. Quality life.
Yeah, sugar. Enjoy your sugar addiction.
It's a difference. It's a difference. It's a difference between white sugar
And fructose.
sugar.
Same shit though, I think.
Yeah,
Anyways.
one kills you faster than the other.
Oh,
No, not on
Oh,
our.
we'll have
It really it was a big test done for about 10 years. That it's a big difference, but we had to go into that later.
No,
we'll have
I
a
don't
debate
wanna
on
talk about that on
Second
this
Renaissance.
channel. It's just
Second Renaissance. Vegan debate.
anyway, man. Good show,
Alright, guys.
Thanks for having me on.
I see ya, man.
Peace to Tribe, peace to Stu, peace to Precise,
Yes, good
peace
night,
to
boys.
Show, everybody. Peace out.
Peace.
Y'all.
Viva la Mexico.
Yeah. Alright, guys, in the chat, thank you for coming. And man, there was a lot of people here. I forgot all of you. We had the Quags. We had obviously Schneider, big supporter of the show. Thank you for your contributions. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, no more Canelo Golovkin talk. It's gonna be Joshua against Povetkin, the preview, our predictions. So get all that ready for tomorrow. All right, guys. Thank you for coming and take care.